Boolean expressions and if statements. This is lesson 5 on DeMorgans Law. The objectives. You will use DeMorgans Law to write equivalent Boolean statements and learn the inverses of the statements x equals y, or does x equal y, is x less than y, and is x greater than y. Now, technically, DeMorgans Law. Here's a graphical picture, here's the set notation, and the mathematical explanation. DeMorgans Law states that the complement of the union of two sets is the intersection of their complements, and the complement of the intersection of two sets is the union of their complements. These are mentioned after the great mathematician De Morgan. This law can be expressed as, and there's the set notation equivalent. Are you confused? Scratching your head? Probably. Let's actually see what DeMorgans Law means in practical terms, because you're not going to have to rewrite the definition of it. DeMorgans Law. If you first look over here at A and B are two Boolean variables, and in blue, I've given you what they're set to. So, if we take and use a little shade here, if A is true and B is true, then A or B is true, and not A or B would then be false, because if this is true, not true is false. Boom. Then, not A is false, not true, B is false. Not A and not B, not F is, okay, I'm sorry, not A is false, and not F, not B, sorry, I'm going back and forth with all these letters. So wind up false, and false is false. Notice that not on the ors together is equal to not on the ands separate. These two things mean the same thing. You get the same outcome all the time. What about this next one? Again, true, if you've got a true value and a false value. True or false is true. Not true is false. Boom, we got the red. Not true is false. Not false is true. False and true is false. False is false. Let's look at the next line. What if we start out with two values being false and then B is true? Well, false or true is true. Okay. Not true is false. What if we do not false? We get true. If we do not true, we get false. True and false is false. And then finally, our last one down here, if both A and B are false, false or false is false, not false is true. Not false, boom, is true. Not false is true. True and true is true. So, all we've done with our truth table here is we've proven that not A or B is the same as not A and not B. We're going to fix this one. This should be a capital B. Okay. So that's what DeMorgans Law says is true. This is how you work it out and prove it to yourself. How about this one? It's the same thing, except notice here I've got the not on the A and B, and over here it's not A or not B. Notice I get the same outcome. So not A and B is the same as not A or not B. And again, I don't know why my capitals there aren't working there. Okay? So again, the blue, A and B right here, okay, given. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put this right here in blue, just so that you know. What's in blue is given. And then the rest of the truth table is what you fill out. If you need to, pause the video and just prove to yourself that each one of those is true or false as I have it listed here. And then notice that DeMorgans Law just simply states that this will be the same as that. Not the quantity A and B is the same as not A or not B. If you haven't finished filling out your table, pause the video. Otherwise, let's keep going. Opposite of comparison operators. I have not x greater than 20. That's the same as what? Not y equal to 30 is the same as not z less than 40 is the same as. Pause the video now and write an equivalent statement to these comparisons. Have you written your equivalent statement? Let's check it out. If you're not greater than 20, then you must be less than or equal to 20. If you're not equal to 30, okay, if not y equals 30, then y doesn't equal 30. Now, could you also have written y less than 30 or y greater than 30? Sure, that would work too. But when we're talking about opposite of comparison operators, you want to write it with a single statement. So y does not equal 30 is the same thing as the single statement, not y equals 30. What about z less than not z less than 40? Well, if z is not less than 40, then it must be greater than or equal to 40. Boom. On the AP exam and on the test in this class, there will be some items where you have to decide if two statements work the same way, if they're testing the same thing. That's where DeMorgans Law comes in and these opposite of comparison operators. Okay? You'll have some practice with this. That concludes Unit 3, Lesson 5, DeMorgans Law.